What's up, everybody? I am Sniggenhoff, and Holy Romance Languages, we are playing Castile, not Crastile. Uh, yeah. On the last episode, we went to war with Morocco, stole some territory, and also went to war with Provence, and stole some territory up over here. And then we told our female heir, who was wonderful, and she had great stats, but I need a male heir to be able to finish the achievement that I'm going for, because right now none of them will vote for us because we have a female heir, female ruler, and so we need to get a male heir so that we can have a male ruler to become the emperor. I apologize. Also, we have some provinces to convert to Catholicism, and essentially the way conversion works is a province will have a natural aversion to being converted. Like Tangiers is -2% for being Sunni, -2% for being non-accepted culture, and -7.7% for being for its development number. And then you get bonuses or buffs to your missionary strength. So we have 2% base, 2% from the Spanish Inquisition, 0.5% from our positive stability, and 0.5% from the De Heretico Cormenembla Act. It puts all of it at 0.3%, and so the higher it goes, the less time it gets. 333 months is a really long time to do this. I'm not going to send a missionary when it's going to take that long. We need to find a few other ways to get our missionary strength up, and one of them would be to hire this advisor right here, and I think we're going to do just that. And 43 months is a much better number, so I'll go ahead and send him there. And then converting provinces is important because the more provinces you have that don't follow your national religion, the lower your religious unity gets. And the lower your religious unity gets, the more national unrest and stability cost modifier and corruption you'll have ticking up. And those aren't good. Also, typically you're always going to have a high tolerance of the true faith, the faith that you follow, which gives you positive unrest in territories that follow this faith, and then pretty low tolerance of heretics and heathens. Heretics are people who follow a version of your faith, so we're Christianity, so Orthodox and Coptic, and at some point Reformed and Protestant will be heretics of the Christian faith to us, and then heathens are people who follow other faiths than Christianity, if that makes sense. So we want to keep, as much as we can, everything that we have under the Christian banner, under the Catholic banner, for that matter. Also, every province you convert increases your papal influence. Also, we took a mission to make Denmark like us, so we should get on that. Come back from Burgundy. Also, I should stop saying also so much. So let's wine and dine the monarchs of Denmark a little bit. They still have Sweden and Norway under their personal unions. So little old Denmark here controls big old Sweden over here. And all Sweden really has to do, all AI Sweden really has to do, is just decide they want to be free and they can win the war against Denmark. Player Sweden, if there was a player Sweden, they typically do it within like the first 10 years of the game, because just like you can find enough people who hate Denmark who will ally with you against them and then just beat up Denmark and take their territory and be free. But AI Sweden typically stays underneath a little bit longer, although they usually break free at some point or another. Finished that, so we can first of all make a state. And we talked about states when we integrated Granada, so I don't need to really go over that again. Go ahead and do both of that to make them full cores. This is still ticking down, correct? Yes. And convert them to Catholic. Also, our power projection is ticking down, and eventually it's going to drop below 50, and we don't really want that to happen. Currently, we only have the 2 rivals. Correct? Yeah. England and France. We could pick up the Ottomans as a rival, which I don't especially want to do. Which reminds me, I can pick up another ally. And I wonder if the Ottomans would be willing to do that. They would! That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, having the Ottomans as an ally. They probably wouldn't help us in any offensive wars over here if we wanted to fight any. But, man, they're just so far away. Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe Denmark would be a better one, or Austria, or Poland even. I don't know. Or I could use it to pick up another vassal. Try to vassalize Portugal. Like, go to war. Force vassalization on them. Let's improve with Poland for a little while. Poland would also accept an alliance with me. What does great powers look like right now? I am the greatest power in Europe at the moment. No, the Ottomans are. The Ottomans are. Although we're close. And if it was... for the development calculation over here, it only counts half of your subject's development. So, like... if I had Aragon integrated into me, I would be above the Ottomans, if that makes sense. Ming is still huge. They're the Ming Chinese empire. They are basically all of China united, although they do have a chance to explode into a bunch of little nations, which happens a solid amount, although I'm not sure. They're changing some of the mechanics in that region of the world with the next patch, and I'm not sure how often we'll get to see that anymore. I could spend 862 admin power to take the next tech. I think I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to build some more barracks. I just really need to get my manpower back up, and this is the best way to ensure that it happens, other than not fighting people. But who doesn't fight people? I have a free diplomat once again. Let's improve with Brittany over here. I need to ally Brittany. Probably wouldn't be all that beneficial to me, but I could do it. 188. Yeah, 188's best. So yeah, in the past, like before we built all these barracks, we were probably getting like 250, I think was the number of men per month back, and with all these barracks we built, we're getting 321, which isn't fantastic, but it's pretty good. Also, we're losing 10% of what we could get because the nobility hate us, which is ticking up ever so slowly. We're already up to 36%. We'll get there someday. Also, I wanted to give this province to the burghers to up their influence, and that didn't even bring them up to 40, so I'd have to give them something else. Give them Melilla. Melilla's not a center of trade, but tensions between the noble and the clergy. In feudal kingdoms, two castles within society held great power. Two castes, not castles. The nobility and the clergy. Now it turns out a baron and the local monastery of his fief are bickering about who owns a rather large piece of land. These days, the royal court is swamped with people yammering about divine right, the nobles claiming their divine right to rule the land, and the clergy asserting their position as the representatives of God on earth. The whole situation is growing rather unstable. The baron in question is inciting the other nobles against the clergy and questioning their right to hold any sort of temporal property. The prior of the monastery has brought in the archbishop on his side, who in turn has threatened to go straight to Rome should he decide to side with the nobles. Now, what should we do, my liege? We can either make the Pope hate us, and the clergy loses 10 loyalty, or 21 noble regiments can rise up in my land, and the nobility hates us even more. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. The clergy's going to hate us, but not for very long, and I don't want the nobility hating us even more when we need our manpower taking back up. The Pope hating us is not great, but it's something we're going to have to... It's a risk we're going to have to take right now. Risk? It's a sacrifice we're going to have to make. The beggar doesn't get to choose his bread, or whatever that old ism used to say. So the Pope's not happy with us, although in 50 years that modifier will fall off, so there's that. It's 1488. The Shadow Kingdom, which is an event that can happen to the Holy Roman Empire, The Holy Roman Empire can basically lose all their territory in northern Italy if they don't control it by like 1497 or something like that. So the Holy Roman Empire may be losing all this land, and possibly even Savoy here soon. If that does happen, we might look at taking Genoa off of Genoa's hands, possibly. Not sure though. Our truce just ended with France, but we are really not in this kind of state we want to be in to go to war with anyone right now. So we're gonna just chill for a second. We were trying to find. We need to get the burghers up to 40%, and I think I'm gonna give them Melilla as well. I can't give them Melilla. They don't want it. I'm going to give them another province then. Give them Cantabria. That way we can, if we recruit minister, okay, if we grant admiralship, that brings them up to 64. Recruit minister brings them up to 79, which is cutting it oh so close. No. Recruit minister brings them up to, yes, 79. No, 89. No, 79. 79. Cutting it oh so close, but we get that 150 dip we want. Because we're so greedy. We're so greedy. Portugal just lost Ceuta because they're bad at this game. So that might be, and by might be I mean definitely, the next time we go to war with Morocco, we're going to take that province off their hands. I could still tech up an admin if I wanted to pay an exorbitant amount for it. We do still have quite a lot of time before the next institution spawns, which is colonialism, which, depending on if France or England has taken any colonial ideas, which I doubt they have. I think France had already taken administrative, and England has taken economic. So likely Portugal is going to be the only person who can spawn the spawn colonialism, or at least right now. So it's most likely going to spawn over here, which will put us very close to it. Let's go send this guy off to the Pope. He would accept an alliance with us right now, which wouldn't be the worst idea in the whole world. Like, you hate me, but let's be friends. Man, Germany is burning right now. I could still get an alliance with the Ottomans if I wanted it, but like I don't see them being that good of an ally for us, unfortunately. Let's improve with weak old Bohemia over here. Finish rival of a rival. What else do we have? Italian ambition, manpower reserves need to recover, or protect against England. I don't... Oh, dang it. I hit the admin point cap. I probably burned some points there. Let's go ahead and take protect against England. I have to get 27 or more troops. But first I need to do some development real quick. Do I have enough manpower for that? And there was a time I had like 7 cavalry. How many? That's 22. Let's improve with Venice, who would also accept a relationship, would accept an alliance with us right now. But you know what? I'm probably gonna leave that alliance spot open, and when I become Spain, and so I can start allying electors here in the Holy Roman Empire. Try to get us elected a little bit faster. Heir to the throne, Philippe, who is also decent. He's got 12 pips. He's got excellent admin and excellent military. His Diplo kind of sucks. I'm assuming Philippe is a boy. But that should be really good. The seat has moved from Salamanca to Jane. Yes. And instead of having a queen consort, we have a prince consort. The nobility are almost kind of liking us. We can take a Diplo idea. Cost reducing war exhaustion. Not something I'm probably going to take advantage of, but nice to have. The next idea we take will give us a colonist. Unfortunately, we have nowhere in the world we know about that we can colonize. We could sack some prestige with and try to have Portugal share their maps with us, which might not be the worst idea in the world, because if we've got the colonists, we might as well be using them. And Portugal should have been exploring all this time. Where is it? Request to share maps. They won't do it because they are a colonizer. Never mind. They want all that sweet, sweet colony land to themselves. Eventually, it will reveal for us. I'm not quite sure how it does it. Liberatas Ecclesiae. The clergy has long been one of the foremost pillars of the Castilian realm, providing not only spiritual guidance, but also as administrators, judges, and diplomats for the benefit of our queen. In return for these great services, no ecclesiastical manor, monastery, or other estate pay any taxes to the state, and the temporal authorities do not meddle in the internal affairs of the clergy. Times grow dire, however, and the state has to cover an increasing number of expenses. We do. We're making 15 ducats a month. Suggestions that perhaps the clergy might make a voluntary contribution have not been favorably received. So we can either make it clear they need to contribute, make them hate us, we lose 10 papal influence and they lose 10 influence, and we gain 134 ducats, or we can gain 5 prestige, they gain 5 loyalty, and they gain 10 influence for 15 years, which would put them in disaster range again. But we do have something falling off in 5 years. I'm going to take this. I'm going to live dangerously. How close? Okay, thankfully it had ticked almost all the way down. It's starting out at 13% because it hadn't ticked all the way down. But should be alright. Okay. And let's build some more barracks. I normally wouldn't be like going this hard to build barracks in these like suboptimal provinces, but like every little bit helps at this point. Which reminds me, I can build a couple more troops. I need 3 more to be able to finish the quest, or at least when the quest was given. It can fluctuate if England, builds more troops. I'm going to go ahead and build a spy network against Morocco, just so I can claim Ceuta, because, I mean, that's probably all I'd want from them, at least right now, but just having that claim would be good. It doesn't look like the Burgundian Inheritance is going to fire this game, which is, first of all, sad for France, which is fine. France can go die in a fire. Kind of sad for me because I did have a chance to get this land, and kind of sad for Austria because they also would have had a chance to get this land. It also kind of throws a wrench in the gears because France doesn't get a bunch of land for free. Scandal at the court. Sometimes a scandal would erupt in the royal court and would upset a monarch to the point where the most diplomatic activity would come to a standstill until things quieted down a bit. So we can take the blame and move on. -1 stability. Not the worst thing in the world, not the best thing in the world. Or bribe an advisor to take the blame, pay 77 ducats and gain 0.5 corruption. I don't really want to take out a loan right now. Typically I would probably take this, but I am at +1 stability and I have a bunch of admin power that I literally have nothing to do with right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I feel like I'm like going against like everything I said early on in the campaign, like never spend monarch points a month. I'm like, this is more. I'm like, I was trying to be super efficient, and now that we're about 50 years into the game, I'm like, this is more convenient. Yeah. Two years ahead of time on that. Not anywhere close to those techs because we're working on these. I wonder if I could convince Morocco to give me maps, or maybe I could have stolen maps from Morocco. I don't know if they know about stuff. They would not give it to us because they hate us a lot. Take this next idea. I now have a colonist that I can send out. Unfortunately, I have nowhere to send him to. There are three types of colonial policies you can have. One is you get more settlers. Native repression policy, you get more settlers. Two, native trading policy. When you're colonizing a place, there are certain factors that go into it, and essentially the natives can uprise against you. You can take the native trading policy, which gives you a minus 50 native trading pass, native uprising chance, and plus 50 native assimilation, so you're more likely to take the natives there and assimilate them into your colony. Or the one I typically take when I'm in Europe, so you just don't have to mess with it, is a native coexistence policy, which makes it to where there's no native uprising chance. You can just send out your colonists and not have to worry about sending military along with them, and that's the one I'm going to take. It also costs you stability to change these, which is crazy. Brilliant diplomat. One young man in our diplomatic corps has distinguished himself significantly. He is a truly gifted individual and utterly loyal to Castile. Our nation will benefit from his work for a long time. This is good news. Diplomatic relations +1 for 10 years, and 5% lower aggressive expansion impact, or we just gain 20 papal influence. The diplomatic relation for 10 years doesn't really do anything, and I don't have a ton of aggressive expansion built up against anybody, so I'm going to go ahead and take the papal influence for now. Seems alright. Improve relations there. Almost at our admin cap again, so let's just do a little bit more development real quick. Yeah, the spot we put ourselves in, I really kind of wish I had just gone with an admin idea group instead of a diplomatic idea group. But you live and you learn, right? We're almost below 50 power projection. I could bring it up by taking on another rival. Again, the only one I could... Ooh, I can take the Mamluks now? Yes, let's rival the Mamluks. 100%. So that's actually going to cause my... I'll be able to get 5 power projection out of that. And then I can also... Let's bring you back from Denmark. I can insult them. Or, not insult them. I can embargo them and insult them. I can do both for a little bit more power projection. Currently, the only rival I have close enough to go to war with is France. And I really don't want to fight them again. So I'm going to try to squeeze out this power projection as much as I can. Issue an embargo. Puts us up to 54. And I'm going to go ahead and sling an insult at them to bring us up to 59, I believe. Oh, I can't do it until April 13th. There we go. 60, even. Well, now that we've done that, I'm going to call it an episode there. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like down below. Also, subscribe to the channel so you can know when I put up new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me about how much you hate the Mamluks, especially, you know, Age of Empires 2, those camel guys that they had. They were really annoying to deal with because they were good against knights. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.